They are immortals. Born across ages and continents, in times of war and peace, of faith and despair. They are not alone. There are others like them, some noble, some cruel. For centuries, they have lived among us, warriors, lovers, wanderers. They have battled each other through the ages, with holy ground their only refuge. Through endless lives and countless battles, they seek purpose, redemption, or dominion. They cannot die unless you take their head, and with it, their power. In the end, there can be only one.
We open in Paris, in February 2019, where two old friends, Methos and Darius, meet for a quiet moment. Methos isn't empty-handed, he's brought an antique copy of The Confessions from St. Augustine. He places the old book down, not just as a prop, but as a silent invitation to walk down memory lane, as they've done countless times before. It's a familiar dance between the two immortals. Darius accuses Methos of disturbing the ghosts of the past, but Methos, ever the cynic, simply teases him about worshipping them. Their banter quickly gets to the heart of their existence. After all these centuries, what really matters isn't what they've forgotten, but what they choose to remember. Methos dismisses Darius as a sentimental old man trapped by yesterday. In truth, this age-old game, this constant push and pull, is their unique way of confirming one simple, precious fact: they still exist for each other. We shift gears to Alice, a young woman settling into Parisian life. She's just finished a long, exhausting day of legal translation and opts for a quiet, solitary walk home through the cold city. Drawn by a sudden sound, her path takes her into the ancient Saint Julien-le-Pauvre church. She sits discreetly, letting the chanting music provide an unexpected moment of calm. When the music stops, the parish priest, Darius, approaches. The moment he sees her, his gaze betrays a flash of profound, hidden recognition before he regains his serene expression. They talk. Alice admits she has no faith, and Darius surprises her with a sincere, paradoxical confession: "Me neither." He explains his purpose: he's a guide for those on a journey. Faith is a path, not a destination, and he prefers curious minds. As they say goodbye, Darius insists on a final point: "I have always believed that meetings are never the result of chance." Alice walks away with a strange, lingering sensation, while Darius stays, knowing this was a meeting far from ordinary. Alice finally arrives home to find her partner, No, waiting for her outside. He immediately teases her about being late and making him endure the Parisian cold. She gives him a kiss and apologizes, explaining she took a detour to stop by a church. No is clearly taken aback. He stares at her as if she's just announced a life-changing decision, asking, half-jokingly, if she's had a divine revelation or some mystical calling. Alice laughs it off. She assures him the only new thing she's developed is an appreciation for the liturgical chants, and, she adds with a smile, the heating inside. Reassured, No takes her hand in his. They drop the light-hearted discussion as they prepare for dinner, Alice promising him that he definitely doesn't need to worry about her soul. The ordinary comfort of their life together resumes. The scene shifts to Methos, alone in his apartment, wrestling with a deep sense of dissatisfaction and unease. Driven by this internal restlessness, he walks to an old chest, opening it to retrieve a small, black box. Inside is a treasured, yellowed black and white photograph, Alexa, a woman he loved, smiling just before her death. Lost in nostalgia, he recalls their pure, brief love, a perfection achieved right before the inevitable loss. Even decades later, that pain serves as a sharp reminder that immortality is, in many ways, a curse. This memory forces him to confront his current relationship with Elise, which now feels absurd and suffocating. She demands certainties he can never offer. Methos makes a silent resolution: he will no longer be trapped. He will always choose freedom. A quiet murmur escapes his lips: tomorrow, I'll end it. The past may be a heavy weight, but he realizes he can still choose his future. Intrigued by the mystery of Darius, the atheist priest, Alice impulsively decides to attend Sunday Mass, just to watch him. Darius spots her the moment she walks in. After the service, he greets her with a sly smile, teasing her about a potential conversion. Alice is direct: she came to see how a man without faith runs such an office. Darius invites her into his modest apartment attached to the church, a room filled with antique curiosities. He hands her a gift, a CD of 13th century chants, claiming it's for her appreciation of the music. She is briefly amused by the archaic format. Her attention quickly shifts to an unfinished chessboard. When she asks if he plays alone, Darius simply replies, "Solitude has its demands." Alice confesses she doesn't know how to play. Darius is visibly surprised by this detail, then responds, "All the more reason to learn." He invites her to sit, beginning the first lesson. It's the start of a strange ritual between the young woman and the old immortal, who is clearly determined to forge a lasting connection with her. We catch up with Methos, known to her as Adam, at his partner Elise's apartment, where he is ending their relationship. The atmosphere is thick with tension. Elise, though clearly hurt, is also resigned. She confesses that she can't stop doubting him, feeling shut out by a part of him she can never reach. She accuses him of unexplained absences and a refusal to share his life. Methos confirms her suspicions: she is not wrong. He is direct and categorical. He cannot stay with someone who is constantly scrutinizing him and demanding certainties he simply can't provide. His conclusion is final: it's not what I want. It's not who I am. Elise accepts their separation. After a quiet exchange of well wishes, Methos leaves the apartment. Outside, he lets out a deep sigh of relief. It's the end of yet another stifling relationship. Methos takes cynical comfort in his decision: modern relationships are too demanding, but he moves on, as always, choosing freedom, even if it comes with solitude. A new routine has settled into Alice's life. She now visits Darius once or twice a week for quiet games of chess and philosophical discussions. These moments have become an essential refuge. One evening, she arrives to find Darius already accompanied by another man, Duncan MacLeod. The two immortals were deeply absorbed in a game of chess. After the introductions, Duncan jokes that he came to see who was dethroning him on the chessboard. Darius subtly shifts the conversation, asking Alice if she practices any sports. She mentions only running, but Darius pointedly suggests martial arts, glancing directly at Duncan. Duncan explains that he runs a dojo. He warns her that it demands time and discipline, testing her seriousness. Darius concludes the discussion with an enigmatic wink: they often say that some encounters change the course of a life. Alice accepts the challenge. Duncan MacLeod, understanding that Darius has just set her on a new path, invites her to come by the dojo whenever she's ready. Soon after Alice begins her martial arts training, a growing tension starts to strain her relationship with No. One evening, just after finishing a late session, No calls, clearly annoyed. He directly accuses her of avoiding him, complaining that they hardly see each other anymore. Her evenings are now spent either with Darius or at the dojo. Alice tries to reassure him, defending herself against any late-life conversion, insisting she simply wants to try new things. No persists, revealing he's caught her listening to religious chants, emphasizing his feeling that she is drifting away. She understands his point and knows she doesn't want to sacrifice their relationship. She promises him to balance things out so they can spend more time together. She hangs up, relieved to have avoided a full-blown conflict, but keenly aware that she now faces a challenge, learning to reconcile her compelling new passions with her need to preserve her life with No. The next scene opens in a dimly lit bar. Methos enters alone and orders a beer, finding a secluded table in the corner. He watches the patrons, a couple arguing quietly, a group of friends sharing booming laughter. This simple spectacle confirms his long-held belief: despite the changing centuries, the essence of humanity remains the same. People are always chasing love, recognition, or simply oblivion. He takes a long drink of his beer, washing away the last lingering tension from his recent breakup. His gaze catches his own reflection in an old mirror. He sees a man whose eyes have seen everything. Centuries of experience are etched into his features, yet there is no weariness, only a sharp curiosity, tempered by the cynicism of one who knows that things only change to remain identical. Methos finishes his drink and leaves the bar. He is ready to reclaim his position as the eternal observer, his solitary silhouette disappearing into the Paris night. Alice is attempting to maintain a fragile balance, making an effort to reconcile her new passions with her relationship with No. Back home, she shares a simple, domestic moment with him in the kitchen. The tension from their recent argument has eased, but Alice senses a slight divergence, a subtle feeling that their lives are slowly moving in different directions. She chooses to push the thought aside, instead savoring the present moment with her patient and constant partner. Meanwhile, her friendship with Darius continues to deepen. Their time together at the church provides an unexpected source of serenity. One evening, she tries to convert him to her musical tastes, playing him some indie rock bands from her teenage years. Darius listens with an expression hovering between puzzlement and genuine curiosity. Challenged on his ignorance of modern classics, Darius replies with an enigmatic smile that he was raised outside of time. Alice bursts into laughter at his incorrigible resistance. This shared lightness is vital to their more serious philosophical discussions. Alice appreciates that with her, he can set aside the weight of his wisdom for a moment of sincere connection. Yet, the question remains: how long can she truly juggle these two diverging worlds before one of them finally gives way? Alice is back home in her hometown for the weekend. The welcome is warm, but her sister, Saren, and her parents quickly begin the inevitable family audit of her Parisian life, starting with her partner, No. During lunch, she is forced to address the changes that are worrying No. She reveals the two big ones: she has started martial arts training, and she is spending time at a church in Paris. This double revelation creates a stunned silence. Her mother and father are immediately skeptical, recalling that Alice actively disliked religion as a child. Saren, half mocking and half intrigued, wonders aloud if her sister is having a mystical crisis. Alice tries hard to reassure them. She explains that her interest isn't about faith, but about the unique friendship she's developed with Darius, a cultivated priest with whom she discusses philosophy and plays chess. She insists she simply enjoys the serenity she finds there. She concludes softly that things change, and she has evolved, too. But her parents remain visibly dubious about these unexpected new passions. At the end of her training session, Alice is introduced to a friend of Duncan's who has just arrived, Methos. Tall and impeccably dressed, he observes the dojo with calculated detachment. He immediately teases her about the difficulty of the workout, dropping enigmatic remarks about the true definition of being alive. Alice proves to be quick and witty, matching his cynicism and mysterious airs with spirited replies, which thoroughly amuses Methos. Duncan, growing tired of their sparring, formally introduces him, Adam Pearson, a friend. As they shake hands, Alice feels a brief moment of unease. His attention is too precise, as if he is trying to uncover something she doesn't even know about herself. Methos, for his part, is visibly intrigued by the young woman. She leaves, bidding farewell to the old friends. The moment she's through the door, Methos turns to Duncan and asks the crucial question, does she know? Duncan replies with a simple, resounding, no, revealing the hidden truth they both sensed, Alice is a pre-immortal, even if she doesn't know it yet. In the back room of the dojo, Duncan and Methos are joined by Amanda, who settles in comfortably. The conversation immediately turns to the new pre-immortal, Alice. Amanda asks for Methos' opinion. He responds with typical nonchalance, Alice knows nothing, she still has time. Duncan, ever the more optimistic one, sees potential, but fears her survival hinges on how she discovers the truth. The subject quickly drifts to Methos' love life. Amanda, well-informed, brings up his recent breakup with Elise. Methos confirms it was doomed, citing the lack of trust and Elise's relentless demands for certainties he could never give. Amanda playfully teases them both, noting the longevity of her own on-again, off-again relationship with Duncan, the reunions that count, as she calls them ironically. The tone turns serious when Amanda mentions Alexa. Methos admits Alexa was different, quietly insisting that the short time he spent with her meant more than anything. Methos concludes that he plans to steer clear of love stories for a while. He goes to grab a beer, asserting that he has to find some meaning in eternity, while the three immortals settle in to share old memories. Weeks pass, and Alice is growing used to the occasional presence of Adam at the dojo. He never trains, preferring to observe the sessions with an air of amused detachment. One evening, after a particularly grueling workout, she collapses onto a bench, utterly exhausted. Methos immediately swoops in, teasing her about her fatigue and asking, with mock concern, if she is still alive. Frustrated by her slow progress, Alice receives some highly ironic, moral support from the immortal, who reminds her that she must persist if she wants to avoid crushing failure. She shoots back that he'll simply have to get used to her presence, passing an invisible test in his eyes. Intrigued, Alice calls him a combat enthusiast who refuses to fight. Methos merely replies that he prefers to enjoy the show. She then warns him not to look down on her, to which Methos fires back with his usual cynicism, don't worry. I have excellent eyesight, even from below. This witty, teasing exchange solidifies their verbal dynamic and mutual interest. Few days later, Alice is surprised to find No at her place, bringing groceries to cook dinner. He's slightly annoyed that she missed his text, pointing out that she's too absorbed in her new routine. As he prepares the dinner, No gently broaches the subject weighing on him. He confesses that he feels they are sharing fewer and fewer moments, and that her life is now dominated by work, the dojo, and Darius. Alice tries to minimize the issue, assuring him it's just a phase and that she hasn't forgotten him. No then asks her to prove it. He steps closer and kisses her. It's a familiar gesture, but Alice's response is slow, almost a reflex, her mind is clearly elsewhere. No, seeing the hesitation in her eyes, understands without a word. Though he doesn't utter a single reproach, Alice feels the full weight of his silence. In an instinctive rush, she kisses him back, desperately trying to erase the discomfort and the space that has grown between them. He responds immediately, but Alice knows, deep down, that this gesture can no longer fix the widening gap in their relationship. Methos pays a visit to Darius, who receives him with his usual, unwavering calm. The conversation quickly shifts to Alice, whom Methos describes as stubborn and curious, while acknowledging her complete ignorance of her destiny. Methos expresses his concern about the future of immortals. The old rules of the game no longer apply. In the modern world, where everything is traceable, escaping and fighting duels has become too risky. Darius gently pushes him to get closer to Alice. He insists this isn't about a battle, but a story that is beginning. Methos, annoyed by the clear manipulation, demands to know why him. The priest replies that Alice is alone, and the world's rules are now blurred, making them dangerous. He subtly suggests that Methos, with his vast survival experience, is best suited to watch over her. Methos senses Darius is holding back part of the story, but the priest offers no further explanation. Though highly reluctant, Methos is clearly intrigued by the idea. He leaves Darius, knowing he probably won't be able to resist the temptation to play this new game. After training one evening, a sudden downpour hits the city. Alis is preparing to leave, but Methos, visiting the dojo, approaches with an umbrella and offers her a ride. This is the opportunity he was looking for, following Darius's subtle advice. Once in the car, the conversation flows easily. Alis confesses, with humor, that she would fear a scene if her partner, saw her being dropped off by a mysterious stranger. She explains Noah's concern. He doesn't understand her time at the dojo or her friendship with the priest, Darius. Methos confirms he is aware, thanks to Duncan, and listens as Alis admits she needs to build her own circle and not be fenced in. Methos replies that he understands completely. His own breakup with Elise was for similar reasons, caused by too much expectation, not enough space. Alis murmurs that he chose freedom. A moment of tacit understanding settles between them. Arriving at her apartment, she thanks him for the lift and the talk. Methos simply replies, "I'll collect on it," before watching her walk away, visibly satisfied with this new step. The next day, Alis arrives at Noah's place and finds him looking weary and resigned. He initiates the confrontation by questioning how much time they've genuinely spent together recently, voicing his painful feeling that she is drifting away. Alis, surprised by his vulnerable tone, explains that she needs to make her own friends in Paris and refuses to rely only on his circle. No, feeling awkward, makes a critical mistake by admitting his discomfort with her being surrounded by guys. Alis immediately pushes back, denouncing the insinuation that she should limit her company to what makes him feel secure. No quickly retracts his words, but his core question remains. He is simply trying to understand where he fits in her life. Touched by his exhaustion, Alis ends the discussion, pleading fatigue. No accepts, but asks if she plans to introduce him to her new friends. She is evasive, replying, "Maybe. We'll see." The storm has temporarily passed. No smiles, yet Alis knows the tension is still simmering beneath the surface. Deep down, she questions whether she even wants to put it out. Methos watches Alis train at the dojo, still wrestling with Darius's suggestion that he should watch over her. Driven by a mix of boredom and his friend's challenge, he decides to act. As the session ends, he approaches with an air of nonchalance and invites her for a drink. Alis hesitates. She knows this could reignite the argument with no, but, tired of constantly weighing her decisions, she accepts, determined to clear her head. They meet at a discreet bar where the hushed atmosphere encourages confidentiality. They exchange light-hearted banter. Methos describes himself as a man of minimalist tastes and advises her to learn to let go. Alis confides in him about Noah's insecurity and his dislike of her new male friendships. He responds with empathy, reiterating that he chose freedom over constraining relationships. Alis appreciates the easy flow and lack of expectation in their conversation. Meanwhile, in the shadows, a scarred man observes them. This stranger, an old acquaintance of Methos, has been waiting for an opening, a moment of weakness. He has found his opportunity. Alis returns home carried by an unexpected lightness, completely unaware of the menacing silhouette that follows her to her building. Barely inside her apartment, Alis's phone rings. It's No, calling, worried and annoyed by her lack of response. He demands to know who she was with. Alis, already on the defensive, tells him she was out, having a drink with Adam. No explodes, not in rage, but in contained anger, deeming the late-night drink inappropriate and accusing her of spending more time with that guy than with him. He feels his place in her life slipping away. Alis, feeling a brush of guilt, stiffens under the pressure. It's impulsivity that pushes her to utter the words that are too violent, too irrevocable. If you keep thinking something's going on with him, maybe it finally will. At least he lets me breathe. The silence on the phone is brutal. No says nothing more, offering only an icy "goodnight" before hanging up. The young woman is instantly flooded with guilt, painfully aware that she crossed a line. Yet, she also feels a sharp sense of relief. She has stopped bending under the weight of her partner's expectations. She refuses to apologize. The distance that has grown between them is now official.